Hey guys, how's it going? So I was on the TikTok and there was somebody that had went like undercover and went into their boyfriend's, I think this is right, it doesn't really matter, place of work. He's a dairy milker at a dairy farm. And she was like, I'm going to get all the inside video of what goes down actually in a dairy farm. And the video, it was kind of like, there's a lot of clickbait. The video didn't show anything at all except for cows. It is a traditional dairy farm. If you've been to one, actually, you know what it is. I don't know if I want to say a large number, but a large group, I don't know, of cows standing around, chewing their cud, eating haylage and silage, getting milked, like, I don't know, dairy farm life, right? And that was all that the video showed, but the comment section went wild, of course. We had so many people, like, losing their minds. I got through probably 5 comments, and I was like, this is not good for me. This is just making me upset, but lots of people that are very PETA people, very animal rights activists, just, saying the stuff that they normally say. And here's my issue with that. I think the danger comes from people that refuse to budge on their preconceived notions and opinions, okay? I would like to think that I'm open-minded. I don't know, maybe I'm not. I would like to think that I am. I have opinions about things, and there are some things I won't budge on. There are certain things that I'm like, no, absolutely not. But for the most part, I'm like, okay, we can agree to disagree. Like, it's not the end of the world. Like, most things I really don't care. And a lot of things I can say, I don't know enough about it to have an opinion. I have no idea. Or somebody else can tell me their side of things and I'll change my mind. And I think that we all need to be more flexible as people. I think especially when you start talking about the PETA people, animal rights groups, you tend to see the people that are really the extremists. So a lot of this clickbait is to like rage bait people to get them going. And that's why I need to walk away and be like, Sarah, seriously, you're being stupid right now. Like, they're just trying to get you riled up. And that's the point. It helps the algorithm. It makes their account more popular. Like, that's how social media works. But a lot of these people that are in these groups, I have to wonder how many of them have actually been in a barn, like a dairy barn. Let's go with the dairy cow thing. How many, my dogs are having a disagreement. How many have actually been in a barn, have watched a milking shift, have asked hard questions? I would venture to say almost none of them. They're going from Facebook groups of PETA. Rescue groups are some of the worst people to get your opinions off of. That's it. They're doing a ChatGPT search, and that's it. There's zero practicality involved. There's zero actual fundamental research, scientific proof of anything. And most definitely, there's probably not any boots on the ground, first eye knowledge? You know what I'm saying with this. Probably not. So, oh my gosh. Some of these comments were like, this is disgusting. You rape these cows and then steal their children so that you can profit from having their milk. And honestly, one of the funniest things I like to say at that point is like, I hope you're a vegetarian. And I hope that you don't drink milk or eat cheese or yogurt or any dairy product, because guess where that comes from? So So then you'll have the people that are like, well, I only buy organic. Organic has zero to do with animal rights or how they're treated, anything. That tells you, like, there's been no hormones, there's been no this, that, and the third, but has zero to do with regulating how these animals are treated or the conditions that they're kept in. So, first of all, the cows are not graped, I'll say, because otherwise this video is going to get removed. I have to move, my dogs are pushing me. That's not happening. It's biology. There are heat cycles involved, or else they couldn't get pregnant. And during a heat cycle, an animal, a female, is more than receptive. And with the dairy cow theory, Holstein cows, which is what they showed in the video, are notoriously not the best moms. So that means you may have calves that are kicked off, rejected, stomped, laid on, squashed, crushed. So which would be better, us removing the calves or allowing them to be crushed by their mothers? Not all moms, but the majority of moms. Now, is that from generations of repeated behavior by humans? I mean, I don't freaking know. I don't know. What I care about is right here, right now. That's what we're arguing about. And that's just statistical facts. Yeah. And then the argument came up. Well, yeah, and they're locked in the barn 24/7, and the conditions that most of these girls are kept in are nicer than most people's homes. They have fans on them 24 hours a day. They're provided endless fresh water, food at the ready. They're not dealing with flies and all this other mess. And like, it's a pretty cush life. They're not out there being beaten by swords and rods and stolen milk, and this is not that. So here's what I encourage people to do. If you have a very strong opinion of something, of anything, make sure it's backed by facts, not feelings, because feelings are not facts and emotions are not facts. So make sure that your information is with your own eyeballs, from the source, and more than one source. If you go to a dairy farm and you have a horrible experience and see not nice things, that's probably not the standard, that's probably not the norm, and you probably just saw a crappy farm owner, which they are out there. There's crappy people everywhere, in every industry. I hate to break it to you guys. But get educated. And I feel like we fear things that we don't know. We fear things that we don't understand, and it's easier to hate it, block it out, and generalize things than it is to maybe admit we were wrong, maybe admit that we didn't have the full picture. So educate yourself on stuff, whatever it is. You might change your mind. You might find a better way of doing something or change your opinion. I mean, who knows? Who knows? But if somebody's asking you a question about a topic that you hate so much, farming, for instance, you best be able to provide those strong emotions with facts behind it to say, these are the reasons why, and not things like, because farmers are evil. That's why. Because they're all terrible. That's why. And it just doesn't work that way. And hate is a very ugly thing. It doesn't help anybody either. So the more you know, I guess, or something like that.